everybody, this is Palace of Forest. I'm Old John. Today we are going to talk about a war tour Lebanon. I visited Beirut in 1999, the capital of Lebanon, formerly known as the Paris of the Middle East. From 1975 to 1990, remnants of artillery shells could still be seen on the walls due to the civil war. What's going on? This 15 years civil war claimed 150,000 lives and displaced almost 1 million refugees. It was rooted in religion, politics, and territory. Just look at the picture. Beautiful colors turn into different religions and sects. Muslims fought Christians. Christians fought Eastern Orthodox. And Shiites fought Sunnis. My buyer said they all fled to mountains. When I went, it wasn't peaceful either. They wanted to invite me to a restaurant. I asked them, is it safe? They said it is. When I got there, the restaurant was full of patrons wearing United Nations UN uniforms or patches of peacekeeping forces. At that time, it's the safest place. Nowadays, we dare not to say, because if you fought with Israel, he probably attack anything, including UN peacekeeping force. After dinner, I saw a long line next door. Turned out it was a new McDonald's restaurant, and many parents were eagerly waiting in line with their children. At that time, McDonald's was very popular overseas. In the evening, the clients took me to see a musical. It was at Hilton, and I was the only woman among the guests. The singer was very pretty. The guest bought a lot of alcohols for her. She came up to me and offered to sing a special song for me. I said, sure, and she sang a Japanese song. I quickly applauded. Later, they wanted me to try their water smoke pipe, Lebanon's hookah. After a few puffs, I coughed. They allowed me to stop. Lebanon is a secular country where women do not wear headscarves and can wear short skirts. There are also many Christians, so theoretically it should be a culture of tolerance and brilliant, but it was a pity. Later, the client proudly showed me his Lebanese culture and wanted me to visit their museum. It turned out that Lebanon was also inhabited by the Canaanites, who were called the Phoenicians in Greek, because they were people who sold purple dye. During the Roman Empire period time, purple dye was extremely rare and expensive. It sold even more than gold. It was called royal purple and was used by Roman emperors. What was it made from? It was made from a type of shellfish. The Phoenicians made their fortune from purple dye. Before the rise of the Romans, the Phoenicians were incredibly prosperous. They had to kill many shellfish to dye clothes into purple color. These shellfish were almost extinct. The Canaanites invented the phonetic alphabet around 2000 BC with 22 letters. It was influenced by ancient Egyptian writing. They were the first to invent a phonetic alphabet. Before the Romans appeared, the Phoenicians were very active in the Mediterranean, engaging in trade and owning many merchant ships. They established many outposts along the Mediterranean coast, the most famous of which were Carthage in present Tunisia and Cadiz in present Spain. Later, they paid tribute to the Persian king Darius, When Alexander the Great rose to power, he attacked Phoenicians' city of Tyre and conquered Lebanon in 332 BC. Don't forget, Alexander spent almost 6 months to conquer this city, and people think he is not so successful, but he learned from this warfare, and later on he was pretty successful fighting all the way to the east. But the major thing in here is the competition with Rome. The Punic War lasted from 264 BC to 146 BC, almost over 100 years, with 3 battles between Romans and the Phoenicians. The Second Punic War, the famous general Hannibal crossed the Alps with elephants to attack Rome. In the end, the rise of Rome was unstoppable, and the Phoenicians never recovered from that. Let's review the history. First, the early days of Rome during the first triumvirate, Julius Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus. In 64 BC, Pompey conquered Syria, which later split into 2 provinces, Syria and Phoenicia, which is now Lebanon. Second triumvirate, Augustus, Antony, and Lepidus, and it was also that time Christians spread. After Rome left, in the 13th century, Egypt ruled Lebanon for the period, and Islam was introduced. 1516, it was conquered by the Ottoman Empire. 1914, the First World War broke out, and England and France wanted to divide the Ottoman Empire, France taking Lebanon and Syria. Independence in December 1945. In 1948, turmoil ensued due to the establishment of Israel and its participation in the war. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinian refugees entered Lebanon. After the war, Israel did not allow the Palestinian refugees to return. So those people, by year 2017, there were 450,000 Palestinian refugees living in camps in Lebanon, and they are not allowed to work in the fields of law, medicine, or engineering. So they are in very bad shape. And plus, they do not have a Lebanon citizenship. 1958, there was a social unrest, and the Muslims demanded to join the Arab League. On July 15, 5,000 U.S. Marines were stationed in Beirut to maintain order and stabilize the economy. By 1970, everything seems fine, but after defeating Jordan's PLO, Palestine Liberation Organization, many Palestinian military forces entered into Lebanon, and conflicts erupted later on. From 1975 to 1990, the Civil War broke out. Muslims fighting Christians, Christians fighting Eastern Orthodox, and the Shia fights with the Sunnis. The main conflict was between the PLO and the Lebanon's government forces. In 1982, Lebanon, in resistance to Israeli's occupation of its southern region, with the help of Iran, established Shia's Islamic political and military organization, Hezbollah. This is the fierce adversaries of Israel. So, with so many wars, in 2021, the GDP per capita was US 4,136. It explains the living standard of this country. What a tragic. This is an ancient country with history and civilization, but now is such a war-torn country. We stop here today. I hope you like it. Please subscribe and see you next time.